Hello my loves and welcome back. So today I actually have another review for you. I got back during Black Friday and all the fun deals on Cyber Monday and such, a different set of coloring pencils, and these are them. They're 72, they're from China, and these are again some sort of knockoff Polychromos. The only company thing that I've found on these is called Deli, and they're just color pencils. Like, they don't have a name that I've been able to find. So if you find other names for them, that's great. All of the stuff on the back is in Chinese, which I tried to translate a little bit with Google Translate on my phone, and the only thing it really says is that they have a great point, they're non-toxic, they have a 1.3.8 millimeter core, and that they color and they're vibrant. And this is the color chart, which honestly isn't that true to their actual colors. So take it as you will. I made my own color chart. So these are basically knockoff Faber-Castells, like I said, and they look, if I can show you here, extremely like Faber-Castells. They come like this. They are sort of pre-sharpened, but they have like a flat tip on them, which I find just odd a little bit. But they do already come decently sharpened. But they look, if you're just looking at the barrel, a lot like Faber-Castells, Polychromos. They aren't. Polychromos, let me grab one for you, because I have my set over here, have a shorter part of the barrel up here. They're tipped in, their ring is gold, not silver. They have beautiful gold all over their barrel, gold writing. These are done in silver and silver stamped, and they just say color pencil. We've got their number and the name of the company, which is Deli, and Deli in Chinese, I believe. So that is that. They do look extremely similar, which is one of the reasons I got them. I got them for about $21 and something cents on Amazon, but that was during their sale. Normally they're about $50. They're $49.99. They're $50 on Amazon. 50, you know, 50. So they're not exactly super cheap, but I got them super cheap while I was grabbing sales. So they have a metal tin that they come in, and their little plastic trays are extremely flimsy, so don't use this as your primary method. If you get these, I would suggest finding a pencil holder for them. They only come in 72 colors. They're very lovely, I'll give them that. According to the seller, and I was looking at all these seller answered questions, they are oil based, which is one of the reasons I thought they were Polychromos knockoffs, which they are. They're oil based, and they have thick cores. Let me grab you these as comparisons. I was trying to color match, but as you can see, you can't really tell which is which, unless you know by sight. Oh, unless that one's Prismacolor. But obviously, you can't tell any difference in the core size. They are the same as Faber-Castells, and I believe the same as Prismacolors as well, a 1.38. So this is Prismacolor right here in the middle. This one is Prismacolor. This one is a Faber-Castell. And this one is just the regular color pencil, the ones that we're reviewing today. So you can't, if you look at the Faber-Castells, you cannot really tell. One of the biggest differences that I've seen is that when sharpening them next to the Faber-Castells, I don't know if you can see this at all, I can see it with my eyes, is that the Faber-Castells are still of a very smooth look on them. You can see a little bit of where it sharpens with the blade. And then there's a lot more of those little tiny pit marks in these. I don't know if you can, how well you can see that. But that just speaks to the quality of lead. Obviously, Faber-Castells is going to be better. They're a higher quality pencil. So that's the only thing that I've seen that like tips me off as to being able to see the difference between them with the naked eye. Other than their barrel color lead that they did. So this is their color chart. They have numbers and no names. But I'm okay with that since their numbers actually go in order. It gives me some sense of they make sense, which is great. So here are all the colors. And they're decently pigmented. They have a lot more lighter colors than Faber-Castells. This could be for two reasons. One reason is that they do have more fillers and binders than the Faber-Castells do, and therefore it lets less pigment onto the actual paper, giving you a lighter color. So that's one reason. The other reason is that the pigment is actually lighter, as well as there's more fillers and such in there. So there's some really great light blues, light greens. There's some really nice, really light colors that could be used for skin tones. But the same thing is to be said is their darks are not nearly as dark as you would find in Prismacolor or Polychromos. All of this actually just looks a whole lot lighter than what you would find in Prismacolor. This is my Prismacolor chart that I have, which is actually 72 colors as well. And you can see that there are just such more, the darks are just so much darker and more intense and more saturated for pigments. So that does say something about their pigment color. So I tried to color match as well as I could with these pencils and Prismacolor and Polychromos, because those are the ones that are most often used in coloring for adults and such like that. These are a couple of the gems that I used these on in order to just kind of check out how they layer, how they blend and such. They don't blend as well as I would like them to. I will tell you that straight up front. Color-wise, this is Polychromo. And this is a Prismacolor. This is Poppy Red and Scarlet Red. Scarlet Red, Poppy Red, and color number 114. So they do have complementary pigments, but in their darker scales they don't go quite as dark. And I'll show you that. I grabbed ultramarines from both Polys and Prismas. So this is my ultramarine Poly. Ultramarine Prismacolor, which I feel is a lot deeper than any of the other ultramarine colors, but you know, whatever, it's my idea. And then you have the knockoffs, the color pencils. So, whoop, it broke. They are a little bit fragile at the tip. And this one is comparable, but it is I don't know. There's something in the feel of it. Like almost as if the lead just isn't quite the same quality. You have to push quite a bit more to get that same look as the others. So that's something to think about. I do like them. I mean, just like as sketching pencils or whatnot. So this is my yellow. I'm just trying to show you how they color match to me. And my light cadmium yellow. And then with Prismacolors, I grabbed canary yellow, which is a little bit different, but that's okay. So much color dust with those. And then these are our knockoffs. Which, like I said, in the light colors, I think they do pretty well. I really think they do. The yellow feels quite a bit more buttery than the other ones did. Which is something that I think is a quality deal. I think all of the pencils in a set should feel the same way. And these don't. Like the blue, it feels quite a bit different than the yellow does. This one is a lot creamier, more buttery in the way it puts down. Now I'm curious. Go back and grab the red one. This one is alright. It's kind of in the middle as far as the feel of going down. Okay, so one of the questions that we go over with this is, do they erase? So I was thinking we ought to try and erase these. This is the big white eraser that I normally use for my colorings anyway. That's Polychromos. I actually think it erases more than Polychromos. And then Prismacolor. If we go real hard. Yep. I mean, they pretty much erase as much as Polys do-ish. They might actually erase more. They definitely erase more than Prismacolors. So that's for that. Alright, blending. As far as blending goes, let's check it out. Grab these. And I've already got this kind of going on, pulling out here. So let's switch to our red one that we have. It feels like it's not putting down as much pigment as Prismas or Polys. You know what I mean? I think they're okay. I mean, they're not fantastic at blending, but they're not bad either. Let me grab my Polys and check this out. Yeah, so we've already got this going on. Either way, with an oil-based color pencil, you're going to have to work a bit more to get the smoother blend that you can get with a Prismacolor because of the actual formulation, because they are oil-based and they're going to layer better. Or not layer, blend. That's what I meant. Sorry. Let's go ahead and round it out, why don't we? And these are, of course, the Prismacolors, which, because of the soft core, they do, you can just almost push them together basically and they will blend, which is, I think, one of the huge appeals of Prismacolors to most colorists, is you're going to get a really easy blend because you can basically just push them together and they go. Whereas with an oil base, you're going to have to work a little bit more. So that's why there's so many like blender pencils and blender markers and all that kind of stuff. Speaking of which, let's grab a blender pencil. There you have it. I think they blend pretty well, honestly. I do. Obviously the blend that blends the best is going to go to Prismacolor because they are a softer pencil. This is not a soft pencil. These color pencils are, I would say, harder than Faber-Castells, and Faber-Castells are harder than Prismacolors. So if you know what either Prismacolor or Faber-Castell feels like, these are a little bit harder than those. So that's a note. You are still going to get good results with these. And that's one of the things, is if you know what you're doing as far as coloring, shading, where to put which color, it really won't matter what degree of pencil you're using. I can do this with prangs. Okay, prangs are, I mean, just hold on. Prangs are wax-based, student-grade pencil that you would get for your kid to take with them to school. I love prangs. They are a very hard wax-based pencil, but I can do this with them. So it's more about your own skill, your own talent, and knowing how to manipulate the medium that you have. Versus, I have to have the highest quality, I have to have whatever in order to get a certain result. So that's one of those things, is don't look at something and say, you know, well, I need Polychromos in order to get that because so-and-so did it with Polychromos. I did this with these color pencils that are knockoffs, whereas I've also done so many other gems that are like this with Faber-Castell Polychromos. You know, that's Faber-Castell Polychromos. This is the knockoffs. So if you see, like, it doesn't really matter. I don't have one to show you with prangs, actually. Not unless I go hunting. I haven't used them in a while. So, as far as layering, I don't know that they layer as much as you can get with, like, they already feel like they're almost, let me see. Let me grab the other one. I mean, yeah, you're still getting layers. This is only like 3 or 4. You're still getting layers, but they get, I mean, just less and less and less each time, like a huge amount. But you are still getting layers on there. Yeah, right now we're just kind of moving the pigment around on top. So, they definitely don't layer as much as you will get with either Polychromos or Prismacolor. Sadly. This is only about, like, maybe 8 layers, I guess. 8, 9 layers, maybe. I can get a whole lot more layers with... Yeah, it's not taking any more, like, whatsoever. Like, yeah, you know, I'm just, like, I can scratch through it. Yeah, I can scratch through it, but it's just staying on top and coming right off. Yeah, it's not taking any more at all at that point. So, yeah, they don't layer as many times as you can get with Faber-Castells. Prismacolors, you can get that many layers, and then you're probably going to start having wax bloom, which is not going to happen with these. They're oil-based, but they're also not going to give you any more after this, which is fine. I mean, 8 or 9 layers, that's more than enough if you're just, you know, a colorist. So that's not that big of a deal. I think that's just about it. They do not have a Lightfast rating. I don't know if it's because they're not tested or what, but they don't have one as far as I've been able to find. One of the notes about Lightfast ratings, that colorists seem to be very interested in Lightfast ratings, but unless you're wanting your artist quality work to last for over 50 years, Lightfast ratings shouldn't really mean a whole bunch to you, unless you really are, like, doing a coloring page and hoping it lasts for over 50 years with the same vibrancy and doesn't fade. That's what Lightfast ratings are for. If you're talking about, like, the next 10 years, none of your coloring pencils are going to fade, really. Like, they really won't, unless you're putting them in direct sunlight every day, all day. They won't. So that's not something, unless you're a professional artist that is doing huge coloring pencil work, that's not something you really need to be concerned about, honestly. They do color dust a little bit, like you could see. So do prismas, though. You see, Prismacolors do color dust as well. But if you're going to start comparing color dust, Honestly, I think they color just maybe just as much as Prismas. Maybe a little less. I don't know. Maybe. But either way, these both smear. Like, oh my gosh. And pulling up into highlights. That's something that my gem people always want to know. And I've done this one and this one. And that is my Uniball Signo that I used on both of these, I believe. And it has not pulled up at all into these. I don't know if you can see that. But the white is still very, very bright and has not pulled up at all. So, there you have it. I like these pencils. I don't think they're a bad choice if you want to grab a set and have them around as some kind of backup set for maybe a travel set or something like that. I don't think they're bad at all. I actually think they're pretty good. But I would not choose them over Polychromos or Prismacolors. Okay, maybe Prismacolors, but that's because I just don't like how soft Prismas are. That's just my thing. So there you go. They do sharpen really, really well, and they do hold a point very, very well. They don't break. But that just comes with being a harder core pencil. And Prismacolors are a much softer core pencil. So that's just kind of comes with the territory. So there you have it. And if you want to grab them, I will put a link in the description for them on Amazon. And like I said, they're like $50. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.